Well, good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather. Thanks for logging on to this quick forecast update tonight. It's about 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on Monday evening, December the 15th. We're sponsored tonight by Metal Magic in Washington. Give Chad a call at 698-8555 for all of your paintless tent repair needs, folks. Alrighty. We have a little bit of shower activity out there tonight. Really nothing major going on. Maybe a few more showers to move through later, but not a big chance of rain tonight. Not a big rainmaker really today. I'd say maybe a 30% chance or so of some shower activity tonight, but nothing too big. The biggest thing that I would want to point out is notice the rising temperatures. We were in the mid 40s earlier. We were moving up to the upper 40s now. Temperatures along the river here anyway starting to inch up just a little bit. And those will eventually fall back down tonight after the cold front passes through. But some mild temperatures right now. Now tomorrow will feature a day in the mid 40s or so around the area. So enjoy that, because after that, and once we get to my 10-day forecast here in a little bit, what we're going to find, folks, is temperatures from the 30s as far as the eye can see, not even breaking 40. So let's go ahead and get right into the data tonight. All the talk, of course, is on multiple storm chances over, and by that I mean winter storm chances over the next few days. Now Thursday, there is a chance Wednesday night of some light snow shower or light drizzle type of activity. I don't believe this is going to be a big thing. The Euro was wanting to paint it into inch or less event last night, as I showed you in my video, but it's all the models have caught on to it, and it's just pretty minor. I've gone ahead and mentioned it in my forecast, but I don't think anything's going to accumulate. If it does, it would be a dusting at best, most likely. It's not going to be a big deal on Wednesday night. What could be a bigger deal is going to be on Saturday, and potentially some more storm systems beyond that. Here's the way the Euro model predicts this, and you can see a pretty sizable winter storm. Again, what we're looking at here, for those of you that don't know, remember these first blue lines that you see here. First dashed darker blue line and not the lighter blue. This is the 540 thickness line. This is the typical rain snow changeover line. So anything on this side of it would be snow. Anything on this side of it typically would be rain. And it brings a, well, honestly, a pretty doozy of a system as I back this up and just sort of put it through here. It brings some very heavy snow totals for a good little while, starting on Friday night and lasting really all day through Saturday and even into the overnight hours. But that was one run of the Euro. That was the overnight run last night. This morning, take a look what it did. Still a little bit of light snow around, but the totals in the morning run of the Euro here, not much at all. So by far, the Euro has been the most consistent model with this lately. But it is backed off a little bit on the snow totals as well. I mean, just take a look at this. This is what the Euro was predicting the snow totals to be yesterday, and well, here you see just snow totals of wow. This is heavy snow, 4 to 10 inches across southern Indiana, plus in some places. And take a look what it did with the latest run today. Minimal, next to nothing, and only 2 or 3 inches with a heavier, in quotation marks, down in Kentucky. So again, will it go back to being something like this? Very possibly. It could be that this run here is just a fluke, because really for the past few days, it hasn't been showing 4 to 10 inches, but it has been showing a good 2 to maybe up to 5 across the area for the past few days on this. It has been remarkably the most consistent of them around the area, but there are more chances and more models to take a look at. The GFS had been going back and forth between a rain and snow look, and you can see the 540 line sort of cutting right through southern Indiana. Maybe some rain right along the Ohio River with some snow, maybe even some freezing rain mixing in at times. As you put this into motion, it's a very quick moving system. It starts off here. Here you are at 1 o'clock on Friday, and then by the time 7 o'clock on Friday comes, you're starting to see a little bit of it move into the area. It changes over to that mix to an all-snow setup for the most of us, and then it is pretty well out of here by Saturday morning. It's a very quick moving system according to what the GFS thinks at this moment. If you take a look at the parallel GFS, the new GFS is upgraded. It's in a very similar thing, except that it's a little bit slower. It doesn't start to bring the precipitation in until early on Saturday morning at about 8 a.m., so it's much slower solution. But again, it's the same idea that we have a little bit of a mix around the area. You can see that 540 rain snow changeover line right through southern Indiana. It brings it over by 1 o'clock to an all snow setup, and then it does eventually move that system out pretty quickly for us as well. It would lead to some minor snow totals out of this. One more to take a look at. The Canadian has now finally latched onto this idea a little bit, and the Canadian's idea is for pretty much an all snow setup for us, and you can see it would start here. This is 1 a.m. on Saturday morning, Friday night, and then you can see it starts to get some snow solutions from there. But you can see low much closer to the Gulf Coast down here, so it doesn't reach up as far. So again, you know, I've showed you the GFS's upgrade. I've showed you the Canadian Gem. I've showed you a couple of different runs of the Euro. There's 4 different models right there, and all of them are showing something in our area, but it's a little bit different solution with each one of them. So right now, folks, what we can say for definite is we believe something's going to happen on Saturday. I'm leaning towards the wintry side of the system. I know a lot of forecasters out there are calling it a rain or snow kind of setup, and I completely understand that. Much respect for my fellow forecasters out there. I'm going to lean towards the side of snow on this one, to be honest with you folks. I think that's what it's going to be. In coming days, I may change my mind if the modeling goes back another way, but really all models are on board with giving us some snow at the moment, so I've worded it as snow in the forecast. Do you think there's some decent potential for some accumulation out of this? And then beyond this, well, we're just going to have to as the coming days come on, we'll have to fine-tune those details. But I do think that there's a potential for some accumulation this weekend, folks. So if you got travel plans, or if you've got Christmas shopping and other things to do, it could be disrupted. So just bear that in mind. All right, let's talk about the pattern at hand, because we have multiple shots for some potential storms coming up. In fact, let me just sort of, rather than going through the modeling, here's a graphic that I compiled earlier today through. Here's December 20th. Here is that system that I'm sort of talking to you about for the weekend. That's from that particular look is from the Euro model this morning, and you can see that gives a fairly vigorous system, which would give us potentially a lot of snow with that. Again, I've already showed you the modeling that. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. But then by the time the 23rd comes, which would be the day, Christmas Eve, I guess you should suppose, that Tuesday, well, I mean, just take a look what that Tuesday does, and you've got yet another snow storm type of a setup. By the time the day after Christmas rolls through, you get another powerful low pressure moving here, and you've got another snowstorm setup. And then by the 31st, you've got a very powerful winter storm moving in here as well. This is all from the GFS model here on the 23rd, 26th, and 31st. So you get the idea, folks. There is a potential for a lot of a very active weather pattern and quite a bit of storms coming our way. So, you know, bottom line on this, folks, don't take a look right at these dates and say, well, 23rd, 26th, and 31st, we're going to write that in stone. Right now, what we're really looking at is the pattern. I can show you specific dates in this particular run of the model, but to be completely honest with you, the next time the model initiates, this one up here may say the 24th, it may be the 25th instead of the 26th, and it may be January the 2nd for this one instead of the 31st or even the 30th. These are going to vary in time, and some of these further out, they may even completely go away, and a different solution, because it all depends on what the prior storms do. So right now, before we can really get to fine-tune these details this far out, we got to hone on this storm. Get through this one first, and I will say, if we can get a decent snowpack on the ground, the old saying snow begets snow really is true. If we get a decent snowpack on the ground and we get that cold sustained in with the active pattern that we're expecting the rest of the month, these other snowstorms very easily could materialize. So it's something that we will keep an eye on. But let's talk with that in mind about the pattern at hand, because we're not going to talk about specific dates, but does the pattern support this? Well, let's take a look at our friend, the Arctic Oscillation, the AO. Cold air on the move from Canada, and take a look at this. When it starts to go negative, that's whenever you know the cold air is starting to go on the move down from Canada toward us, and that's exactly what you're seeing. You start to see it trending towards the negative here on the Euro model. You're seeing it trending towards the negative here on the GFS as well. It starts to spike up a little bit positive, maybe just a little bit of a warm up right before a storm moves in on Christmas, and then just tanks the AO after that. And then, of course, the NAO, the North Atlantic Oscillation, when it is negative, it leads to a blocking pattern, and it sort of shuts the North Atlantic Ocean down and says, no storms, you can't move out, just out to sea. So that slows everything down. It forces storms to ride up the East Coast whenever it meets that, and sort of go around that blocking high up towards Greenland. And, of course, what that means is slows those systems way down for us, that leads to more cold air potentially being funneled in, and higher snow totals, heavier snow totals as well, usually under a negative NAO because of that reduced speed on the system. And here's what you notice. Look, we're still in a firm positive category here for the storm towards the 20th, but it's trending negative here on the Euro model. It is going strongly negative by the time we get into the last part of the month here on the GFS. So that means the storm potentially right around Christmas and New Year's, both of those could end up being doozies if we have a negative NAO. So those are going to be a couple that we're going to have to watch very closely after this system. Probably the one on those two are going to be the biggest ones at this point, the way the modeling looks at right now. But again, we'll have to take it one system at a time. All I want to say here about this, folks, is the pattern is there and setting up for a potentially very wintry and very cold setup, active weather pattern shaping up for us to end the month. Again, 4 potential winter storms. Is it set in stone? Not by any means, but 4 potential winter storms. And of course, we've had the past 2 weeks a very mild pattern where we haven't had really any snow to speak of at all, just a flurry or two, and it's been fairly warm and mild with temperatures really in the mid 40s, sometimes even near 50. That's above normal really for this type of year. For 40 to 45 across southern Indiana is about what our normal temperature should be right now. Right now, it's looking like we're going to go back down into the 30s, and it could even go colder than that. Let's go ahead and talk about your 7-day forecast. Well, first let me show you the 16-day temp spread here from the GFS ensembles. Just give you an idea of what the GFS is thinking where we go. We are not reaching 54 on Tuesday. That just ain't happening. We're going to go mid-40s tomorrow is what I'm calling for. That's just flat out wrong. But you can see once that temperature crashes, all throughout the rest of that time, we're going back to a below normal pattern. Again, normal temperatures 40 to 45. We're going to be in the 30s most of the time according to this model, and some of the other models are even colder than this. I just show you this one because it's laid out so nicely and to make it easy to see. But cold weather patterns starting to settle in. Break out the winter coats. Get the firewood stacked on the porch for the fireplace, folks, because winter is coming. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your 10-day forecast. You can go to southernindianaweather.com to get this. You can also get this on our mobile app. You can get it for Google Play and Android. If that is Android, you can get it for iPhone devices as well on the Apple App Store. Just search for southernindianaweather.com and be sure to download that. You can get the forecast on the go along with great radar and some other things there, folks. Again, some light showers tonight possible, down to the low 40s. Tomorrow, only up to the mid 40s for our high. It's going to be another gray day. It's going to be breezy as well as behind this cold front that's going to move through. Winds will turn out of the west about 10 to 15 miles per hour. It's just going to be a colder day today because of the wind going to be cutting through you. Down to 28 and becoming partly cloudy on Tuesday night, but then take a look at that. Enjoy tomorrow, because as nice as tomorrow is as cold as it will be with the wind chill, it's going to be one of the nicer days. Look at this. By the time you get to Thursday, we're talking temperatures only in the mid-30s for a high. 37 on Wednesday. Again, a partly sunny day, but it's sort of that light snow shower chance comes in on Wednesday night. Again, I'm not expecting much of anything accumulating with this at this point, so we'll just take the accumulation potential of this out of the forecast, but I'm still going to mention that there is a potential for some light snow showers. Nothing major at this point. Only up to 34 for your high on Thursday. 35 on Friday. It's going to be a pretty much cloudy, cold, and gloomy day. Light snow showers, possibly mixed with some rain or freezing rain even at the start. I am concerned that they could have a little bit of icing with this. It's something we'll keep an eye on. Snow accumulation definitely possible with the system Friday night into Saturday. I think snow showers are going to be more likely than the rain at this point, the way things are trending. Again, snow accumulation is possible. We could get 2 inches. We could get 10 inches. We just don't really know what we're going to get at this point, folks. Can't really know this far out, but we'll fine-tune those details as time gets closer. Then by the time this goes out on Sunday, folks, it stays in the mid to upper 30s as you go throughout the period. There's that next system moving in at about the 22nd, about the 23rd, 24th, right around in there. So we'll keep an eye on this for another potential wintry mix. And of course, beyond that, of course, we've got more that I could show you as well. Again, we're not focused exactly on the days. This potential storm right here may change to Tuesday. It may change to Thursday. We'll just have to see, folks. As I've said, it's on the radar screen. It's something we've got out there seeing. The pattern supports it. We'll have to fine-tune the details as we get a little bit closer. All right, folks, bumpy ride ahead, so enjoy the 40s tomorrow, and we'll go from there. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite with your latest forecast update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.